He slammed the mansion door so hard the chandeliers trembled, then he made the mistake that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Grant Whitmore, a billionaire still raw from grief, stormed down the marble stairs with fury in his eyes. Maya. Now. Out back, beneath the shade of old oak trees, Maya Reyes was kneeling in the grass helping Lily, 8, and Emma, 5, build a lopsided sandcastle in the garden sandbox. The girls froze when they heard his voice because they'd heard that tone before. "Daddy sounds mad," Emma whispered, clutching Maya's arm like it was a life jacket. Maya rose slowly, brushing sand from her hands, putting herself between Grant and the kids. "Sir, please, don't yell at them." Grant's laugh came out sharp and bitter. "Don't lie to me. My 8-year-old asks about money like a Wall Street analyst. She repeats things she shouldn't even know. You've been filling their heads." Lily stepped forward, trembling but firm. "We asked Dad, because you're never here." Silence hit like a punch. Grant's jaw tightened. Pride took the wheel. "Pack your things. 1 hour. And don't you ever contact my daughters again." Emma broke, first sobbing, reaching for Maya. Lily wiped her cheeks and stared up at her father with a look no child should ever have to wear. "If she leaves," she said, voice cracking, "we're leaving too." And in that moment, the mansion didn't feel like a home at all. It felt like a cold, expensive mistake one his own daughters were about to correct. By the next morning, the Whitmore estate looked the same. Polished floors, perfect flowers, sunlight spilling through tall windows, but the air inside felt drained. No laughter in the hallway. No little footsteps racing to the kitchen. Just a heavy silence that sat on every piece of expensive furniture like dust. Lily didn't speak to her father. Not once. At breakfast, Grant tried. "Good morning, sweetheart." Lily stared through him like he was a stranger who happened to own the table. Across from her, Emma pushed cereal around her bowl, eyes puffy from another night of crying. She clutched a cheap pearl necklace Maya had given her for dress-up, like it was the last warm thing in the house. Marjorie, the housekeeper, who'd been with the family for years, set down a plate and lowered her voice. "Sir, they're not eating." Emma keeps asking for the bedtime story Maya used to read. When I read it, she says it doesn't sound right. Only Maya knew the voices. Grant snapped his newspaper shut, but the anger didn't land the way it used to. It just cracked and fell apart inside him. "They'll adjust," he muttered, forcing confidence. "Kids are resilient." Marjorie's eyes didn't blink. "With respect, Mr. Whitmore, they've already lost too much." Then Emma's sobs echoed from upstairs. Grant rushed in time to see the necklace strand broken beads scattered across the rug like tiny white tears. "Daddy, fix it!" Emma wailed. "I'll buy you a new one," he said, instinct money solution. Emma shoved his hands away. "I don't want new. I want Maya. I want her to come back and fix it." Lily's voice cut through the chaos, calm as a verdict. "I'm not mad at you, Dad," she said. "I'm disappointed." And that word, disappointed, hit Grant harder than any scream ever could. That night, long after the house went quiet, Lily didn't climb into bed like a normal 8-year-old. She sat up under her blanket with a tiny flashlight jaw, set like a soldier. From beneath her pillow, she pulled out a pink notebook one Maya had given her for big thoughts, and opened to a fresh page. At the top, in careful block letters, she wrote, "Plan to find Maya." Emma's voice floated from the other bed, shaky and small. "Lily, do you think she misses us?" Lily clicked the flashlight off for a second, swallowing hard. In the dark, she scooted over and climbed onto Emma's mattress. "Of course she misses us," she whispered. "She loves us. Then why isn't she here?" "Because Dad won't let her." Lily didn't say it out loud at first. She just held Emma closer, feeling her sister's little ribs rise and fall. Then she spoke low and honest. "Sometimes adults mess up, and then they get stubborn." Emma sniffed. "Can we go get her?" Lily's heart thumped like a drum. This wasn't pretend anymore. This was dangerous. But the thought of Maya alone somewhere hurting made Lily's fear turn into heat. "Yes," Lily said, "but it's a secret. No Dad. No Marjorie. Nobody." Emma nodded like she was taking an oath. "I'll be brave. Lily flicked the flashlight back on and started writing everything she remembered. The neighborhood Maya mentioned, the 2 buses, the little bakery, with the warm smell, the sick mother she worried about. Each detail landed on the page like a step on a map. And behind their half-closed door, unseen Grant stood frozen, listening, while something inside his chest finally cracked. Morning broke soft and golden, but inside the Whitmore estate, it felt like someone had turned the volume down on life. Lily came downstairs first, eyes sharp, shoulders squared. Emma followed, clutching the broken pearl necklace in her fist like evidence. Grant sat at the table, already coffee untouched, tie loose, dark circles, carving shadows under his eyes. He tried a smile. It didn't hold. Emma climbed onto his lap anyway, small arms wrapping around his neck. "Daddy, do you miss Maya?" The question landed like a brick in still water. Marjorie's spoon clinked against a plate. Grant's throat worked before sound finally came out. "I'm fine, sweetheart." Emma pulled back and studied him with brutal honesty. "You don't look fine," Maya said when someone looks sad they need a hug. For a second, Grant didn't move. Then his hands, slightly trembling, closed around his daughter like he was afraid she'd vanish too. Lily watched it all like a scientist watching a crack spread through glass. She waited. Counted the seconds. Then, casual as breathing, she turned to Marjorie. "Marjorie, how do people get to the Eastbrook neighborhood from here?" she asked, voice light rehearsed. "We're learning about different parts of the city at school, and I remembered Maya said she lived there." Grant's shoulders stiffened at Maya's name, but he didn't stop her. Marjorie hesitated, then softened. "It's a long trip, honey. 2 buses. First one from the stop by Lakeside Plaza, then you switch at Central Station." "How long?" Emma piped up, perfectly innocent. "Almost 2 hours, Marjorie said. "That's why Maya always left so early." Grant's eyes flickered like he'd just realized what always early really cost someone who wasn't rich. Lily nodded slowly, storing every word like ammunition. And across the table, her father sat very still, as if the truth was finally starting to hurt in the right place. Saturday morning at Lakeside Plaza looked harmless families, coffee, soft music drifting out of storefronts. But for Lily Whitmore, it was a battlefield in bright lighting. Marjorie held both girls' hands as they walked past window displays. 1 hour, she warned gently. "Pick your father's gift, and we go straight home." "Yes, ma'am," Lily said, sweet as sugar. It was the perfect cover. Because 200 yards away sat the bus stop, Marjorie had mentioned the one that led to Central Station, and eventually to Maya. When Marjorie slowed to admire a jewelry kiosk, Lily leaned down to Emma, voice barely a breath. "Remember your job," Emma nodded like a tiny spy. "Keep her busy, and if something goes wrong, I cry. Loud." Lily's stomach twisted. She hated using her sister's tears as a plan. But she hated the empty house more. Emma skipped ahead, pointing dramatically. "Marjorie, can we see the puppies? Please, please, please!" Marjorie melted instantly. "Just to look, sweetheart." The second they turned toward the pet store, Lily slipped away fast, but not running, heart-hammering so hard, it felt like it would show through her shirt. The air outside hit her warm and sharp. She spotted the bus shelter and walked up to an older man reading a paper. "Excuse me," she said, polite, steady. "Do you know the fare to Eastbrook?" He lowered the paper, eyes narrowing. "That's a long ride for a kid." "My mom's inside," Lily lied, without blinking. "We're visiting my grandma soon." He shrugged. 2 buses. First one's $8 to Central Station. Second is 12 to Eastbrook. About 2 hours total. Lily repeated it in her head like a prayer. 8, 12, 2 hours. Last bus home. Time mattered. As she backed away, the man called after her, softer now. "Be careful out there, sweetheart." Lily didn't answer. She just turned back toward the mall, information secured, because now the plan wasn't a dream. It was a route. By the time they got home, the navy tie sat in its bag like a quiet accusation. Grant was outside in the backyard, on the wrought iron bench, staring at the half-collapsed sandcastle Maya had left behind. Same spot, same morning light. But the man looked different now. smaller somehow. Like the house had swallowed him. Emma ran first tiny sneakers, slapping the stone patio. "Daddy, we got you something." Grant took the bag, tried to smile, and unwrapped the tie with slow hands. His eyes softened for half a second, then cracked again. "It's beautiful," he whispered. Emma didn't miss her opening. "Lily said it matches your eyes when you're sad." Grant blinked hard like the words physically stung. "My eyes look sad." Lily sat beside him close enough to feel the tremor in his knee. Up close, she could see it 3 nights of no-sleep guilt tucked under the collar. "Dad," Lily said, voice steady but not cruel. "Do you miss Maya?" The question hung there heavy as wet laundry. Grant stared at the sandcastle, at the little moat they'd carved, at the tiny flag Maya had made from a toothpick and a scrap of ribbon. "Yes," he admitted, barely audible. "I miss her." "Then why don't you bring her back?" Emma climbed into his lap, fists curled around her broken pearls like a courtroom exhibit. Grant's shoulders sagged. "Because sometimes adults make mistakes so big we don't know how to fix them." Lily leaned in, quiet but sharp. "Maya told us the bravest thing a person can do is say, 'I'm sorry.'" Grant's throat tightened. "Do you think she'd forgive me?" Emma answered without hesitation, like it was the simplest truth in the world. "She forgives everybody." Grant exhaled, shaky. Then he nodded once, like a man stepping off a cliff. "Okay," he said. "I'm going to find her. I'm going to make this right." That night, after Grant tucked them in, too gentle, too quiet, like he was afraid the wrong word might shatter what was left, Lily waited until the hallway lights clicked off. The house settled. The kind of silence that makes you hear your own heartbeat. Emma rolled onto her side, whispering, "He said he's going to find her. But what if he takes forever?" Lily didn't answer right away. She reached under her pillow and pulled out the pink notebook again. The flashlight snapped on, painting their blankets in a small circle of truth. "Adults move slow," Lily murmured, flipping to a clean page. "They think and get scared." Emma hugged her stuffed bunny tighter. "But Maya's sad right now." "I know." Lily's throat tightened, but she kept her voice steady. "And if Dad waits too long, she might stop believing we want her." Emma's eyes glistened in the dark. "So, we do it?" Lily nodded once. Not dramatic, just certain, like a decision a kid shouldn't have to make. She wrote carefully, "Day 5, Dad admitted it. But we know where she is." Then she drew a simple schedule, like a little commander. Sunday, she whispered, "Marjorie goes to church at 10. Dad has his meeting at 11. That gives us a window." Emma sat up, breathless. "That's our chance." Lily glanced at the door, half open, just enough to make her stomach flip. "We pack light," she said. "Money in my pocket. Snacks in your backpack. We take the bus from Lakeside Plaza Switch at Central Station. We go straight to the bakery, remember? The one that smells like warm bread." Emma nodded hard. "And we bring Maya home." Lily clicked the flashlight off. In the dark, she whispered the last line like a promise. "Tomorrow, we're the brave ones again." Sunday came with a blue sky that felt like a lie. Lily woke before the sun had fully climbed, already dressed in jeans and sneakers, her money folded tight in her front pocket like a secret heartbeat. Emma sat on her bed with her little princess backpack, whispering, 3 cookies, 1 water. Bunny. Like she was reading off a survival checklist. Downstairs, Marjorie's heels clicked across the marble church routine keys, purse the usual. "Girls," she called, "I'll be back around noon. Your father's in his meeting. Don't open the door for anyone." "Yes, ma'am," they sang in perfect innocence. The moment her car faded down the long driveway, Lily sprinted to the window and watched until it disappeared completely. Then she turned to Emma, eyes wide. "Now." They moved fast, bare feet on cold tile hearts, pounding loud enough to feel dangerous. Lily went straight to the kitchen drawer, where she'd seen Marjorie keep emergency cash. Her fingers shook as she counted out exactly $40, enough for 2 kids' round trip. She slid a note under the tin in careful handwriting. "Borrowed. We'll pay it back. Lily and Emma." Emma's lip quivered. "Is this bad?" "It's borrowed," Lily whispered, forcing herself to believe it. And it's for something right. They slipped out the back garden gate, the same one Maya had walked through with her suitcase. Shoulders stiff, eyes wet, trying not to cry in front of them. Outside, the world didn't know two little girls were breaking every rule they'd ever been taught. They just knew one thing. They were going to bring her home. The bus stop was louder than Lily expected, engines coughing, people shifting, a street vendor shouting over the traffic. And there they were, two little girls, standing out like bright dots on gray concrete. Emma squeezed Lily's hand so tight it hurt. "Are you sure it's the right one?" Lily swallowed and pointed to the blue and white bus rolling in with a squeal of brakes. "Line 47, she whispered, repeating it like a spell. The doors hissed open. A wave of adults pushed forward. Lily felt her courage wobble just for a second, until she looked down and saw Emma's wide eyes waiting for her to lead. So she did. "2 tickets, please," Lily told the driver, forcing her voice to sound older than 8. The driver, a tired man with gray stubble, leaned down and frowned. "Where are your parents?" Lily's heart slammed. She didn't blink. "Our grandma's meeting us at Central Station. Mom's..." "Inside," she lied, the words burning on the way out. The driver studied them for a long beat, then took the cash. "Sit up front," he said softer. "And don't wander." They slid into the first row. The bus lurched forward, and the mansion world peeled away outside the window, clean streets turning into busier blocks, shiny storefronts fading into cracked sidewalks. Emma stayed quiet, staring like she'd been dropped into a different planet. Every sudden stop made her flinch. Every stranger who climbed on made her scoot closer. "How much longer?" she finally whispered. Lily opened her notebook map on her lap, hands shaking just enough to notice. "The driver said he'll tell us," she murmured, trying to sound calm while her stomach did somersaults. Then the driver shouted, "Central Station, last stop." They stepped off into chaos, horns, voices, exhaust bodies moving in every direction. Emma pressed into Lily's side, trembling. Lily lifted her chin anyway, because the second bus, the one that would take them to Maya, was somewhere in that noise. Finding the second bus felt like trying to spot one specific face in a moving crowd. Central Station was the storm diesel fumes, shouting vendors' buses groaning in and out like tired animals. Lily held Emma's wrist now, not just her hand, afraid a single slip could erase her little sister in the noise. "Don't let go," Lily whispered. "I won't," Emma breathed, eyes darting everywhere. They searched windshield signs with blurry letters, asked 2 hurried strangers who barely looked down. Then finally, a woman with grocery bags pointed with her chin. Eastbrook. That one. The bus they climbed onto was older seats, ripped windows filmed with dust, the air thick and hot. It didn't matter. To Lily, it was a lifeboat. They paid the fare. They sat near the front again. And as the bus rattled forward, the city changed block by block into something tougher. Houses closer together, paint peeling, kids playing in the street like traffic didn't scare them. Music spilled from open windows. It wasn't pretty like their neighborhood, but it was alive. Emma pressed her forehead to the glass. "Maya comes here. Every day." Lily nodded, throat tight. "For 2 years. When the driver finally called out, 'Next stop, Golden Grain Bakery,' Lily's chest jumped. Warm bread drifted in through the open door as they stepped off, legs wobbly from the long ride. The bakery sat right across the street, glowing like a small miracle. Lily approached the baker, voice polite but shaking. "Sir, do you know Maya Reyes? She lives near here, with her mom." The man's face softened instantly. "Maya, sweet girl. Green door house, number 23. 3 blocks down, left turn." Emma looked up at Lily, hope bright and terrified at once. "We're really here." Lily stared down that narrow street, heart pounding. 1 green door, 1 knock, and everything was about to change. Lily's hand hovered inches from the green door, suddenly weightless, like her bravery had drained out through her fingertips. Emma swallowed beside her, whispering, "What if she doesn't want to see us?" "She will," Lily said, but her voice shook anyway. She knocked 3 firm taps, just like she'd practiced in her head on the bus ride. For a heartbeat, nothing. Then came slow footsteps, a chair scraping, a soft voice from inside that made both girls freeze. "Who is it?" Emma couldn't hold it in. She leaned forward and blurted Maya. "It's us, Lily and Emma." Silence. Then locks fast, frantic clicking open like someone couldn't breathe. The door swung wide. Maya Reyes stood there, in a plain t-shirt and worn jeans the girls had never seen her wear. Her eyes were swollen lashes clumped like she'd been crying for days. Her hair wasn't pinned up neat like at the mansion. She looked smaller, human. And the second she saw them, her face cracked open. Shock, pain, joy, like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. "My babies," she whispered, as if saying it too loud might make them disappear. Lily and Emma launched into her arms so hard, Maya stumbled back a step, catching herself on the doorframe. Then she hugged them like she was trying to stitch her own heart back together with her hands. How did you get here?" Maya choked out, kissing their foreheads over and over. "Where's your father? Are you okay?" Emma pressed her cheek to Maya's chest. "We came to get you." Lily nodded, tears slipping free. "Because the house isn't a home without you. And because Dad was wrong." Maya's breath hitched. Her arms tightened. For the first time in a week, the missing piece was finally in the same room. Maya pulled them inside so fast, the green door nearly slammed behind them. The apartment was small, clean, warm, lived in. A faded couch, family photos on the wall, a tiny table with a bottle of pills and a half-filled glass of water. Nothing like the Whitmore mansion. And yet it felt more like a home than anything Lily had breathed in for a week. "Maya," Lily said, trying to sound brave. "You have to listen before you call the house." "I have to call Maya," insisted, voice shaking as she checked the time on her cheap watch. "They'll be terrified. This was dangerous." "We know," Emma whispered, eyes glossy. "But you needed to know the truth." From the back room, a soft shuffle. A frail older woman appeared, leaning on a cane, Mrs. Rosa Reyes, Maya's mother. Her face was tired, but her eyes were bright and kind, the same kind Lily recognized in Maya. "So these are the girls," Rosa said, gently smiling through the pain in her body. "The little angels my daughter talks about." Emma walked right up, fearless in the way only 5-year-olds can be. "Maya says you're the wisest grandma in the whole world." Rosa's eyes filled. "She's been crying every day since she came home," she admitted, voice breaking. "Not because of the job, because she thought she lost you." Lily felt the words land like a stone in her chest. She turned to Maya, watching her wipe her cheeks with the back of her hand like she was embarrassed to be caught hurting. "You didn't do anything wrong," Lily said, firm now. "Dad was wrong." Maya's lips trembled. "Then, why did he do it?" Lily took a breath. And finally, she said the part that would crack the whole story wide open. Lily's voice dropped to a whisper like the truth was fragile glass. "Dad heard my uncle talking on the phone, saying Dad might lose a lot of money. Dad thought you overheard it. He thought you told us, or told someone else." She swallowed hard. "But it wasn't you." Maya went still, stunned. How do you know that?" Emma lifted her chin, guilty and brave at the same time. "Because we heard it," she admitted. "We were playing hide and seek. We hid behind the big couch. We heard everything." The room seemed to tilt. Maya covered her mouth, eyes filling again, this time with a mix of relief and pain. "So all week, I've been blaming myself." She breathed, voice cracking. "I thought I failed you." "You didn't," Lily said, stepping closer. "Dad failed you, but he can fix it. We came so you'd know the truth, and so you'd come home with us." Maya's hands trembled as she reached for the old wall phone. Then it started ringing, first sharp and urgent. All 4 of them froze. Maya answered, barely audible. "Hello?" A broken, panicked voice poured through the line. "Maya, please, tell me my girls are with you. Grant." A man collapsing in real time. Maya hit speaker. Lily leaned in. "Dad," she said, steady as a judge. "Don't call the police. We're safe. And now you're going to hear the truth." And in that tiny apartment with the whole world closing in, a proud man finally ran out of excuses. Sometimes the people who love us most aren't the ones with the biggest house or the loudest voice. They're the ones who show up day after day, quietly carrying our pain. Pride can make you rich in things and bankrupt in love. But the brave choice, especially later in life, is to apologize while you still can. If this story hit your heart, tell me in the comments. Have you ever waited too long to say I'm sorry? And if you believe family is built by love, not just blood, subscribe, hit the like button, and join this channel. Because the next story might be the one you didn't know you needed.